Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. I want to talk to you guys a minute about the market and about being patient and about dry powder. Now, I get, excuse me, I get a lot of comments that keep saying, man, Larry must have endless dry powder. Larry must have endless dry powder. First, let me say my name is Larry Jones. This is Stock Up with Larry Jones. On the road heading back home after traveling. Shout out to the Church of God in Christ, Pastors and Elders Council for inviting me. It was an honor and a pleasure. And we'll talk about that in a later video, but I am so happy to finally get to speak for the Pastors and Elders Council because I want this message to get out, like this message about financial wealth, generational wealth. And the stock market, as old as this country is, and we have to shift. We have to shift this wealth gap. So let me just talk about right now. The market is very mixed. Dow is up, but the Nasdaq is down. S&P is down at the time of filming this. Right. I want to touch on Nvidia, and then I'm going to talk about dry powder. Nvidia is one of those stocks that you wish you had bought and held rather. It's one of those stocks that you wish you just had held, right? I have some Nvidia stock that I've had for years and I have some Apple that I've had for years, some Tesla that I'd had for years, because remember some years ago I was making videos and I was saying that there are some of these stocks that we have to be willing to hold for at least a generation, right? And for me, Nvidia is one of those stocks regardless of earnings. Now, last Thursday, just like I shared with you guys, and I shared with a lot of people here at InvestFest, that I actually bought more Nvidia on Thursday when it was a pullback, right? I generally, in the options market, I generally, like 5 to 7 days, I see what direction it is, and I do an option in that direction. So if it's moving up, I do a call option. If it's moving down, I do a put option. But I'm out of my options before earnings, okay? So this is what I do. Anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell. But now, it takes patience, right? It's hard to sell something that is going up, right? But it's also hard to buy something mentally when it's going down for most people. You and I know better than that. We're the firemen and firewomen that run towards the fire and catch the fallen baby when it's a good stock. But the reason why I wanted to make this video in particular before I head to this airport is I want to address dry powder. But let me finish wrapping up with Nvidia. In my long-term Nvidia, I added Thursday, Thursday when we had the dip, I added even more to my long-term position. Larry, what happens if they don't have good earnings? Then I'm going to hold and I'm going to buy more, because I believe that Nvidia's growth is not endless, but it has a lot of runway left. It is a good company. It has a moat around it. A lot of the other chip companies have to come through Nvidia, all right, with the CPUs. They kill it with earnings. And this AI thing, this AI boom is not over. If anything, we're in the first quarter of AI, maybe the first third of AI. But I believe that AI has a long way to go, and we will be years into AI. So the Microsofts and companies like that will follow. And Nvidia is one of those companies that, even as short as I've been doing these videos since 2020, if you just look at Nvidia and see what it has been returning, you guys remember how bare of a market 2022 is. But if you had just bought it and held it and didn't sell it, didn't swing it. Now I have two different portfolios. One I do swing trading in, and one I just keep my long stock in, right? So what I'm going to tell you is, when I'm in an options play, I'm like this every 5 minutes with my phone, right? You guys been there, every 5 minutes, right? In my swing trades, maybe once or twice a day. But my long-term portfolio, which is a true wealth builder, I'm like this. I'm just waiting. How long are you waiting, Larry? 5, 7, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, a generation. So let me talk about dry powder. And I want to address this, and I understand a lot of people just don't get it. Listen, I don't have endless dry powder, but what I do have is an income. What everyone listening to me has is income. And so if you have a job, even if you're on fixed income, then you should have dry powder. And what I mean by that is I am absolutely 100% dead serious about this. Make investing in you your first bill you pay. So every time your employer, I just happen to be my own employer, but every time your employer pays you, for those of you in church and we believe in God, hey, we give God his first, right? But the first earthly bill you pay is yourself. And this is what wealthy people know that we don't. This is what wealthy people practice that we don't. I practice it. I pay myself first. And if you have kids, teach them, train them to pay at least 10% to themselves first. Make that the first bill. Make it more important than any other bill, including rent and mortgage. So what I mean by that, train them in that way on day one, job one, day one, so that they know that that's the most important bill. Because if your money's not working for you daily, then you will work for your money for the rest of your life. So make your money work for you. So yeah, you say, Larry has endless dry powder. When I do the options plays and I have these big wins, when I make $500 a day, $1,000 a day doing the options, that's extra dry powder, right? And what do you think I'm doing with that dry powder? I'm not putting it all back at risk. That's why a few of you guys are just burning up. You're just, at the end of the year, you look at your options, you had wins and losses, and it was just a game. But true generational wealth is built by simply buying good companies and holding them. And not just buying one time, make it a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly action whenever you get paid, good people. And so I dare you, just since I've been doing this YouTube thing for stock since 2020, look at Nvidia, look at Apple, look at Microsoft, look at the S&P 500, ticker symbol VOO, and then zoom out 10 years, and see that if you just held and simply continue to put money in, we call that dollar cost averaging, you would be doing extremely well, especially over the last 10 years. Somebody leave in the comment section if you had put, let's just say, $5,000 over this period. So let's just say, 1 second, brother. Hey, how you doing? All right, safe travel, man. Safe travel, brother. Peace and blessings to you. Yes, sir. Just saying goodbye to my good friend here. So it's one of these things that if you put $5,000 in, what will it be today? But for those of you that know how to calculate compounded interest and pull up an investment calculator, someone let me know what would your Nvidia stock would be worth now had you put in $10 a day, 7 days a week, just into Nvidia for the last 10 years. Somebody let me know what that number is. And therein lies how you build generational wealth without you trying to figure it out. Because Jensen, the CEO of Nvidia, he's smarter at running Nvidia than just about anybody else. That's why the company is doing well. Elon is the best guy to run Tesla. He's smart. That's what we do when we long-term invest. We pay these CEOs to do a good job. We give them $1 because we trust their ability to run the company, and we want to get $1.25 back. We want to get $1.50 back. We want to get $2 back. Over years, we give them $1. We want to get $10 back over the years. That's what we want to do, good people. So as far as dry powder, every time you get paid, you should have dry powder. I don't care if that dry powder is $50 a month. You should invest, right? And I will tell you this. I travel Southwest as much as I can. I'm still in my $180,000 house. I can pay that house off many, many times over, and it wouldn't hurt me. But I'm telling you guys that I see people that make a tenth of what I make a tenth of what I make, living way bigger lifestyles than me. And this is, you do you. But I'm just telling you right now, if you live in the uncomfortable a little bit right now, you will live very comfortably the rest of your life. And I just want to keep it real with you guys. I'm serious about this generational wealth. We overcomplicate the process. The process is trust the process. Continue to invest. Every time you get paid, a portion of your paycheck should be in investments, okay? And this is something that the 5% own. Show me a wealthy person and I'll show you someone that has investments and real estate. Those two things. And I want you guys to understand that we've been trained to just consume. Well, I got a formula that works for you. Buy the companies of the products and services that you consume. I just had some Starbucks, but I got Starbucks. You guys know, you guys saw it. I got Starbucks stock, okay? I don't wear Jordans, but I got Nike stock. I go to Walgreens, I got Walgreens stock. I'm on an iPhone, I got plenty of Apple stock. And so let the companies pay for the goods and services that you consume, because that is what they do. They own the media companies that sells you the crap while they continue the 5%, while they continue to control 68% of the wealth. 5% should only control 5%, but they control 68% because we are sheep. And it's time for us to wake up, good people. So remember, when I say I got dry powder, I got dry powder from, I sell stock all of the time. I got dry powder from my options. When I win big on options, I take a minimum of 50% because I want to protect my money for myself. I don't want to give it back to them. So what do? I put it in my long-term portfolios in dry powder, right? And then wait for the appropriate time and then I buy. I'm telling you guys, if you follow these simple rules, watch what happens, whether we have a recession, bull market, or whatever. Watch what happens over 5, 7, especially 10 years. It will be life-changing and you will remember this video, all right? So let's get started on that, all right, good people? Hey, I love you guys. About to head back to the airport and get back home. Listen, live, love, laugh, and learn. We want to keep it real. Make sure. Now, a lot of you just get this free stuff, but if you want to get on a fast track, then take my class, Stock Up You. It's going to be the top link below. And I'm telling you, it's not about selling classes, but it's about a mindset. And we have to change this, right? And I've made more money than I've made my entire life over the last 4 years since COVID. I didn't change anything but this. I'm not bigger, I'm not stronger, but my mind is stronger because I condition my mind, I stick to my disciplines, and I'm going to continue to give you guys the best of what I got, okay? I love you guys. We'll see you later. Live, love, laugh, and learn.